the novel To Kill a Mockingbird, which later, as you can see on your screen, became an award-winning film. Now, the book is hailed as an American classic, in part because of its treatment of the country's racial tensions. Now, interestingly enough, Lee actually wrote her new novel before she wrote Mockingbird, but it's only just being released now. Now, early reviews have revealed that Lee's newly published book has a shocking twist for one of the best-loved characters of To Kill a Mockingbird.
We don't want to give it away.
No.
We're
about to, though.
Controversy over this literary find and why it took so long to bring the book to light.
Since Atlanta, she had looked out the dining car window with a delight almost physical. Over her breakfast coffee, she watched the last of Georgia's hills recede and the red earth appear.
The first words of Harper Lee's Go Set a Watchman, narrated by actress Reese Witherspoon. An early taste of what was actually the first draft of To Kill a Mockingbird, one of the world's most beloved novels. Harper Lee actually wrote while living right here on this very stretch of road on New York's Upper East Side in the 1950s. For almost 6 decades, Go Set a Watchman was abandoned. Its release may redefine her legacy. Maria Mills is the author of The Mockingbird Next Door, the story of 18 months spent living at close quarters with Harper Lee, who had by then moved back to Alabama with her sister Alice. She says she never expected Lee to publish again.
Nell Harper Lee herself, Nell Harper as she's known in her hometown, had said to a friend, for example, that there were 2 reasons. One was she wouldn't want to go through all that publicity again for all the money in the world, and 2, that she had said what she had to say in To Kill a Mockingbird and wouldn't say it again.
She didn't need to say it again. To Kill a Mockingbird has sold more than 40 million copies to date, becoming a 1962 Hollywood hit.
You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view.
Now, generations of readers are faced with a new side to their favorite characters. Early reviews revealing Atticus, the lawyer who heroically defended a black man, had racist leanings. One reviewer calls it the toppling of idols.
People have such deep feeling for those characters and are so anxious to know what has become of them these 20 years or so later. And at the same time, people have their own thoughts about what should have happened to those characters.
Still, curiosity is making this the publishing event of the year. HarperCollins says it's their most pre-ordered book ever. It's at the top of the Amazon bestseller list, and boxes are being kept under extra security at this Barnes & Noble in New York. The company expects Go Set a Watchman to be their #1 seller of 2015. Harper Lee, now 89, is living in an assisted care facility after a stroke. A new chapter in her literary career, though, is just beginning. Claire Sebastian, CNN, New York.
And the novel Go Set a Watchman has just been released in the United States amid much anticipation. Joining me now to discuss this from Los Angeles is CNN's senior media correspondent and host of CNN's Reliable Sources, Brian Stelter. Brian, thank you so much for being with us. So, in this new book, Atticus Finch is basically recast as a racist. He's no longer this sort of moral compass. But, you know, in most novels, heroes are complex characters, they're 3-dimensional. So, why the backlash?
That's right. There has been a lot of shock about this, Zane. I think the backlash is because people associated for so many decades so closely with this character. Some parents even named their children Atticus after this character. This was many decades ago, though, and now we're seeing a different version of what Harper Lee was imagining, an earlier version. After working with her editor, after revising, the book became what we now know as To Kill a Mockingbird. So what we are seeing released today all around the world is really an earlier version, an earlier draft. And for literary types, it's going to be really interesting to compare the earlier draft with the later draft. You know, you mentioned it's coming out this hour on the East Coast of the U.S. I'm seeing some people on Twitter already lining up, waiting to buy the first few copies. We're going to see it rolled out over the next coming hours all around the world. 70 countries this book is coming out in. It's already available in the UK and elsewhere. People are going to be devouring this book and debating this book and debating how it stands next to the original book.
Of course, and as you mentioned, Go Set a Watchman was interesting enough actually written before Mockingbird. So why did Harper Lee remain silent for so many years?
that is, I think, a mystery that will always be with us. And perhaps people who read the book and then review the book will have their theories about that. You know, she seemed very content for a long time to have that be her one and only book. Now her legacy really is reopened and may be open to revision as we read this second book. And there were even hints yesterday about maybe a third manuscript. It's all, you know, like I said, quite mysterious. There have been a lot of questions about whether the 89-year-old author wants this to be published at all. But her representatives say she does, and one person I know who was able to visit with Harper Lee recently, a filmmaker named Mary Murphy, said that Harper Lee reassured her that she does want this released. Definitely, a real mystery surrounding this book. Maybe that's simply going to juice sales even more, make people even more curious. You know, this is really the publishing event of the decade. Not since Harry Potter in 2007 have we seen such high interest in a new book.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people are talking about the fact that Atticus Finch is so different from what we saw in To Kill a Mockingbird. Okay, Brian Stelter, we appreciate that, as always. Thank you.
Conversations happening on social media. You can find out more about what people are saying about the book and about Atticus Finch on Twitter. Just head to CNN.com. They'll be reading it as we speak, won't they? The first
Yes.
Queued up to buy it.
It's an important part of my childhood, reading that book, you know, so it's going to be interesting to see what people have to say.
Despite what his daughters believe, there is no evidence blues legend B.B. King was poisoned to death, we've learned.
A coroner in Las Vegas revealed his findings on Monday, saying the 89-year-old performer died from Alzheimer's disease. Now, King's daughters accused his close associates of killing him on May 14th while in home hospice care. Okay, still to come here on CNN. Rapper 50 Cent has been one of the richest men in hip-hop music, with a net worth, by the way, at over $100 million. That's estimated. But now we hear that he is filing for bankruptcy.
What's that about? Plus, a baby gets her first look at mum and dad, and her reaction is absolutely priceless. You've got to see it.
Dubai is 8-hour flying time from 2/3 of the world's population and has earned a growing reputation as a leading global gateway and a hub for trade, logistics, and tourism. Now we are focused on earning a reputation for excellence in healthcare, medical research, and education.
Dubai's prime position, with its healthy animal growth, is the ideal place for Dubai Healthcare City, a destination that is already home to hospitals, clinics, and a dedicated medical education facility. We offer 100% foreign ownership and international standards of regulation.
Dubai Healthcare City is perfectly positioned for investors and for patients. We are building a healthcare destination for everyone for generations to come.
Benny's the oldest dog in the shelter. He needed help all day, so I adopted him. When my back pain flared up, we both felt it. I tried Tylenol, but it was 6 pills a day. With Aleve, it's just 2 pills all day. Now I'm back.
Aleve, all day strong. New summer snacks are a fun reason to come together at IHOP with 3 new recipes.